let's talk with Scott Draper, obviously from the Big 12 Conference office. He oversees all of football for the Big 12. And obviously, it's a sport that's a little bit in flux right now. There's a lot going on. And he was gracious enough to take some time at Big 12 Media Days to talk with myself one-on-one about, simply put, where football is right now in the Big 12, where it's going in the future, and also, well, where BYU fits from his vantage point from the conference office side of things. So here you go, Scott Draper with myself, was live from Big 12 Media Days.
As the Chief Football and Competition Officer, you've got a unique perspective across the entire league here. As you look forward to this upcoming season, what are you looking forward to most?
Well, first of all, it's good to see you. Thanks for being here. Yeah. So football season's always the kind of the kickoff of the academic year. Obviously, we've got other sports, volleyball, soccer, cross country that are in season as well. But football for us is something that we get really excited about. Obviously, we start the season in week 0 with 2 games, with notably the Iowa State, Kansas State game in Ireland, and followed by the opening of Kansas Stadium, followed after the game. So a great part of the season, early matchups in week 1 for us. Really looking forward to the season.
Are you going to be going to Ireland for Farmageddon?
Yeah, no, actually Brett is.
Okay.
Christian Yormark will be in Ireland. I'm going to be at the opening of Kansas's new stadium.
Okay.
Supporting them and representing the conference. So it'll be a great opening weekend for the league.
Now, when it comes to new facilities like Kansas is building, how much insight or how much direction do you guys also provide to programs like that when they go through that?
Not a lot. There's
Okay.
some guidelines and guide rails that we give them going into it. Obviously, we've got some specs we need for the replay booth and some the broadcast positions. But they've hired a really great architect. HNTB to do their work. So I worked with them when I was at the University of Michigan when we did Michigan Stadium. So they've got a great architect that knows the deal. And so I look forward to seeing it. I was talking to Coach this morning. He's like, I don't know, it doesn't look like it's going to get done on time. I'm like, Coach, it always gets done on time. Trust me. I've been through this.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it now, but it will.
I asked that because obviously BYU with LaVell Edwards Stadium, it's 60 plus years old now. I'm looking forward, I'm sure BYU's talked about stuff like that. When it comes to the infrastructure for the Big 12, do you guys essentially suggest, hey, maybe you guys want to change this or do that when it comes to future infrastructure projects?
No, not really.
Okay.
We obviously, when we added new members, we did an audit of what the facilities they had to make sure that if there were challenges that we needed to know about, we knew that well in advance. Certainly with adding the schools since I've been in the league, the Pac-12 schools since I've been in the league, I had great facilities that they've done a great job with. When I was in the American, we had Cincinnati and UCF. And at both Cincinnati had just done a big renovation. UCF did some, now going through a big one. So those things matter. Those opportunities to create premium spaces for their fans. Every AD and president knows their fan base the best, and whatever their fan base needs and requires, they're going to deliver. They're not going to do something that they don't need. So I have every confidence in Brian and the team there to be able to find the right balance.
Obviously, football's entering a whole new era with the House settlement and everything. How different do you think it's going to change in terms of the sports landscape, I guess?
It'll change it a lot. I think what I'm hoping that it will happen, and the coaches mentioned this yesterday, and I'm sure you'll hear more from the coaches today, about the need to have playing rules across the board that are equitable for everybody and that they're enforced. And that's a really big part of it. If that happens and there's balance across the board in terms of the revenue sharing, that folks aren't able to outspend 2 or 3 times what everybody else is doing, that will be a good thing for college football. I think the race to the top for having the biggest donors is a short-term, kind of blip on the radar, I hope. But it's part of who we are now, and that's a good thing. I think the players have long deserved the opportunity to earn a living playing college football.
Are there any initiatives from your side of things as the chief football officer that you're looking forward to implementing this year in particular?
Well, nothing on the rules side. We had, obviously the technology changes last year. That was a big lift that we integrated.
The coach
to player communication and the in-game video. Nothing big on that side this year. We always try to improve. Like for us, the most important job that I have in the fall is our officiating program, and to ensure that we have our officials are prepared for the season. We'll officiate somewhere around 17,000, 18,000 plays. and to eliminate the mistakes. Our goal is to get them all right. That has to be our goal, and we'll work really hard to do that.
When it comes to the schools, I guess in the old Pac-12 footprint, including BYU on the west side, what has been your perception of their inclusion into this conference and how they have fit in?
Seamless and additive. Yeah. Not only on the field, certainly, you saw Arizona State obviously win the Big 12 last year, but what they bring, what their markets bring to the Big 12, how it's added to our experience for our student athletes, for our fans. I had never been to Salt Lake City before. Right. BYU was added into our league a few years ago, and now I went to the BYU-Utah game last year and saw what that game means to both fan bases, how the city rallies around it. Obviously, it'll be in Provo this year, so I'm excited to go back to it and see it this year as well. So I think it's only been, as Brett's talked about, being a global conference. We are a national conference now. Taking that to be a global conference is really a big focus of his, and it helps us grow and sustain the position we have in college athletics.
Talk about being an international conference. BYU with its church affiliation literally is international. Has that helped influence in any way the Big 12?
Well, it provides opportunity for sure. We have obviously the game in Ireland this year, game in Ireland next year. Certainly working closely with Brian and the team to look for opportunities for BYU to play internationally in football and in other sports, candidly. So hopefully we have some things to talk about and share in the upcoming months, but know that he's been aggressive, we've been aggressive to try to bring Big 12 football to places that outside our states.
There you have it, Scott Draper from the Big 12 Conference Office. A big thank you to him for taking some time to talk with myself. And I think he's got a very interesting vantage point, obviously running football for the conference. And he is working in lockstep with guys like Brett Yormark and obviously in communication with BYU's athletic director, Brian Santiago, the other ADs in the conference, and more particularly the head coaches, Kalani Sitake and the like, essentially saying, okay, what do you guys need from us at the conference level that can help you guys succeed at your jobs? Because they obviously want the Big 12 to be seen in the best light possible, and that only happens when you have collaboration with everybody that, has a vested interest in said venture. And really interesting times, obviously, in the college football space, and we'll see where the future holds. But you can tell this is a guy who's very happy to have have BYU as a member of the Big 12 Conference, and I look forward to seeing what the future holds when it comes to college football. I'm still in love with the sport. I know that some of you may have been turned off by all the changes that it's undergone in recent years, but whenever they actually start the games every fall, I still get those butterflies in my stomach thinking, okay, this is the best sport in the entire world. I am a college football junkie at heart. I love a lot of other sports, but college football was my first love, and it still is very much number one in my heart. And I think a guy like Scott Draper understands that it still holds a lot of sway for a lot of people out there in the sports universe.